Hello, my friend. It is good to see you here again. The world is quiet now, isn't it? The day has finally folded its wings, tucking away the noise, the rush, and the endless demands of the hours that have passed. Now, there is only the night. There is only the soft, velvety dark, and the rhythm of your own breathing. I want you to take a moment, just a single moment, to acknowledge that you are safe. You are warm. You are exactly where you need to be. There is nothing left for you to solve tonight. No emails to answer, no messages to check, no plans to make. All of that can wait. It will wait. For now, you have permission to let go, to simply be. If you find comfort in our journey tonight, if the sound of my voice helps you find that quiet place within yourself, perhaps you might consider leaving a gentle like or subscribing to our channel. It is a small gesture, like lighting a candle in a dark window, letting us know that you are here, traveling with us through the mists of time, but only if you wish. Now, let us begin. Let your shoulders drop. Feel the tension melting away from your jaw, from your forehead, from the small muscles around your eyes. Imagine a wave of relaxation, warm and heavy, flowing down from the top of your head, washing over your neck, your arms, your chest, all the way down to the tips of your toes. Tonight, we are standing in the heart of London, but it is not the London of the guidebooks. It is 3 a.m. The city is asleep. We are standing in the very center of Trafalgar Square. It is so quiet here that the silence feels almost physical, like a soft blanket wrapped around the stone monuments. The air is cool and crisp, carrying that distinct scent of the city at rest, a mixture of cold stone, damp pavement from a passing shower, and the faint, salty tang of the River Thames flowing silently nearby. Look around you. The grand buildings that line the square are dark, their windows like closed eyes. The National Gallery stands stoic and silent, guarding its treasures of paint and canvas. Above us, the sky is a deep, bruised purple, not quite black, illuminated by the amber glow of the street lamps that reflect shimmering pools of light onto the wet ground. You take a slow step forward. Feel the ground beneath your feet. The pavement is solid, cool, and unyielding. You are walking towards the fountains. At this hour, they are often turned off, or perhaps they are just a gentle trickle, a whisper of water against stone. You reach the edge of the fountain basin. The stone is cold under your hand, damp with mist. You trace the rough texture with your fingertips, feeling the age of it, the permanence of it. Domineering the square are the 4 great bronze lions. They are massive, silent sentinels, their paws extended, their heads resting in an eternal watch. Walk up to one of them. It is so large that you feel small beside it, humbled by its scale. Reach out and touch the bronze flank of the lion. It is cold, freezing cold from the night air. The metal feels smooth, yet pitted with the tiny scars of time and weather. It feels grounded, heavy, immovable, just like the sleep that is waiting for you. Heavy, deep, immovable. Standing here, beneath the towering column of Lord Nelson, looking up into the hazy night sky, it is easy to believe that this is all there is. That London has always been this way, a city of stone and concrete, of buses and noise. But you and I, we know the truth. We know that this city, this modern metropolis, is just a thin veneer, a mask worn by an ancient land. Imagine, if you will, that the ground beneath your feet begins to turn transparent. The gray paving stones of Trafalgar Square dissolve into mist. The concrete foundations, the tarmac, the steel, they all fade away like smoke in the wind. We are going to descend. We are going to sink, slowly, gently, like a feather drifting down through the air. We are sinking through time. Down, down, down we go. We pass through the Victorian era. We see the ghost of cobblestone streets, the flicker of gas lamps, the intricate brickwork of sewers built by men in flat caps and waistcoats. We drift past the cellar of an old tavern, where laughter once rang out over pints of ale. Down, further still, we pass through the ashes of the Great Fire, a layer of black charcoal, a scar in the earth, marking the year 1666, when the sky turned red and the city burned. But we do not stop there. We continue our descent. We pass through the medieval mud, the lost coins of merchants, the discarded shoes of peasants. We see the foundations of the first churches, the white stone brought by the Normans. Deeper, we pass the Roman lair, the red tiles, the shards of pottery, the straight, disciplined roads of Londinium. We see a lost sandal, a broken gladius, a coin bearing the face of an emperor, long forgotten. And still, we sink. The earth around us changes color. It turns from the gray of the city to the rich, dark brown of peat and soil. The smell changes too. The metallic scent of the modern city is gone, replaced by the smell of damp earth, the smell of roots, the smell of time itself. Deeper, deeper into the quiet dark. The years are flashing by in reverse, thousands of years, tens of thousands of years, ticking away like the beat of a metronome. 10,000 years, 50,000 years, 100,000 years. And then we stop. The motion ceases. The darkness lifts. Open your inner eyes. We are still standing in Trafalgar Square. But the column is gone. The lions are gone. The gallery is gone. London is gone. Welcome to the interglacial period. Welcome to 120,000 years ago. The air hits you first. It is not the cool, crisp air of a London night. It is warm, thick, humid. It wraps around you like a heavy, warm towel fresh from the dryer. It smells of wet vegetation, of blooming flowers, of mud baking in the sun. You are standing in a lush, green valley. The sky above is a brilliant, piercing blue, dotted with fluffy white clouds that drift lazily across the horizon. Look around. Where the traffic lights once stood, there are now towering trees with broad, waxy leaves that shimmer in the sunlight. Giant ferns, taller than a person, uncurl their fronds from the damp earth. The ground is soft under your feet, spongy, covered in moss and thick grasses. Every step you take sinks slightly into the earth, grounding you, connecting you to the primal pulse of the planet. It is midday here. The sun is high and warm on your face. You can feel the heat soaking into your skin, relaxing your muscles, warming your bones. It is a pleasant heat, a drowsy heat, the kind of heat that makes you want to lie down in the shade and close your eyes. Listen, the roar of traffic is replaced by a symphony of nature. The low, rhythmic buzzing of insects, dragonflies with wings spanning wide, hovering over pools of water, the rustle of the wind through the dense canopy of trees. Shh, shh, the leaves whisper, and underneath it all, the sound of water. The river Thames is here, but it is wild, untamed. It is wider, swollen with meltwater, flowing sluggishly through the marshland. You decide to walk towards the water. You move slowly, pushing aside the large fern leaves. They brush against your arms, soft and cool. The mud squelches softly beneath your feet, a comforting, earthy sound. Squish, step, squish, step. You are in no rush. There is no time here. Only the sun, the earth, and the river. As you near the riverbank, you see them. At first, they look like gray boulders rising from the mud. But then, one of the boulders moves. An ear twitches. A massive head lifts from the water cascading off its broad snout. A hippopotamus. Here, in London, it is magnificent. Its skin is a slate gray, glistening wet in the sunshine. It yawns, opening a mouth that seems impossibly wide, revealing tusks, before sinking back into the cool embrace of the river with a contented sigh. You can almost feel the vibration of that sigh in your own chest, a deep, resonant sound of pure relaxation. Further down the bank, in a clearing of tall yellow grass, a herd of wild oxen is grazing. Their coats are thick and shaggy. They move slowly, their heads bowed to the earth. You can hear the rhythmic sound of their chewing. Crunch, crunch, pause, crunch. It is a hypnotic rhythm. They are completely at peace, their tails flicking lazily to swat away flies. They do not fear you. You are just a ghost observing their world. And there, in the shade of a large oak tree, something else is resting. A lion. Not a statue of bronze, but a creature of flesh and blood, of fur and breath. This is a cave lion, larger than the ones we know today. It is lying on its side, its paws stretched out, its belly rising and falling with slow, deep breaths. Its eyes are closed. It is fast asleep. If you listen closely, very closely, you can hear it purring, a low, rumbling rumble that seems to come from the very core of the earth. It is the sound of absolute safety, the sound of a creature that knows it is the king of this domain, that has nothing to worry about. You find a dry spot of grass near the riverbank, a safe distance away, under the shade of a weeping willow. The grass is soft and cool. You sit down, and then you lie back. The ground supports you completely. You look up through the swaying branches of the willow tree. The leaves dance gently in the breeze, creating a kaleidoscope of green and gold against the blue sky. The light is dappled, shifting, changing. It is mesmerizing to watch. Your eyelids feel heavy, so heavy. The warm air, the sound of the river, the buzzing of the bees, the distant purr of the lion. It all blends into a lullaby that has been singing for 120,000 years. You imagine yourself sinking into the earth, just like the history we traveled through. Your body feels heavy, like the hippopotamus in the water, buoyant yet grounded. You are part of this landscape now. You are part of the ancient memory of London. Let's drift a little further. Let the sun begin to set on this prehistoric day. The sky shifts from blue to gold, then to a soft, hazy pink. The shadows lengthen. The air cools down, just a fraction. The insects quiet down. The birds sing their final evening songs, melodic trills that echo across the valley. The river turns into a ribbon of liquid gold, reflecting the dying light of the sun. It flows endlessly, relentlessly, towards the sea. It has seen the ice come and go. It has seen the lions and the rhinos. It will see the Romans, the Vikings, the kings and queens. But for now, it is just water. Cool, clear, cleansing water. Imagine you are floating on that river. You are weightless, supported by the water, drifting downstream. The current is gentle, slow. It carries you effortlessly. You don't have to swim. You don't have to steer. You just have to lie back and trust the river. The water is cool against your back, washing away any remaining tension. The gentle rocking motion soothes you, rocking, like a cradle. As twilight deepens, the first stars begin to appear. One by one, they prick the veil of the purple sky. These are the same stars that looked down on the hippos. The same stars that looked down on Trafalgar Square tonight. They are the eternal witnesses. You look up at them, feeling a sense of profound awe. The universe is so vast, and you are a tiny, precious part of it. The air grows quieter. The only sound left is the heartbeat of the earth and the gentle lapping of water against the reeds. Lap, 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 soft, rhythmic, eternal. You are drifting away from the time of the great beasts now. The river of time is carrying you forward, slowly, ever so slowly. The climate is shifting again. The great heat is fading. The ice is returning, then retreating. The landscape changes like a slow-motion dream. Forests grow and fall. Rivers change their course, but you are safe. You are just watching, floating, resting. We are moving towards a new era, a time when the first human footprints will appear in the mud of the Thames. But that is a story for a little later. For now, just stay here, in this twilight space, between the sun and the moon, between the heat and the cold, between the past and the present. Feel the peace of the prehistoric world, a world without clocks, without deadlines, without noise, a world that simply exists. And as you exist in this moment, allow your breath to deepen even more. Inhale, drawing in the ancient tranquility. Exhale, releasing the modern worry. Inhale, the scent of the earth. Exhale, sinking deeper into the ground. You are safe. You are calm. You are asleep to the world of today and awake to the world of dreams. Rest here for a moment, in the silence, in the shadows of the giant ferns, under the watchful gaze of the sleeping lion. All is well. All is quiet. All is peace. We are drifting, still drifting. Can you feel the gentle motion of the water beneath you? It is a soothing, rocking sensation, like a cradle swaying in a quiet room. We have left the tropical heat of the interglacial period behind. The river of time flows onwards, carrying us through centuries, through millennia. The landscape around us shifts and morphs, like clouds in a windy sky. The great ice sheets came, covering the land in white silence, and then they retreated, leaving behind scarred earth and new rivers. The lions are gone, the hippos have vanished, and now the mist begins to clear again. The air is different here. Take a breath. Can you taste it? It is cooler, sharper. It smells of pine resin, of damp oak leaves, and of something else, something faint but distinct. Wood smoke, the smell of a fire burning in the distance. It is the oldest perfume of humanity. It signals warmth. It signals food. It signals safety. We have arrived in the time of the first people, the Stone Age, or perhaps the Bronze Age. The labels do not matter here. Only the feeling matters. We are on the banks of the Thames, but it is not yet called the Thames. To the people living here, it is simply the water, the giver of life, Thamesis. The river is wide and shallow here, flanked by dense thickets of willow and alder trees. The sun is beginning to dip below the horizon, painting the sky in strokes of bruised purple and burnt orange. It is the golden hour of prehistory. Look towards the bank. Do you see them? Nestled in a small clearing, protected by the curve of the river, is a settlement. It is not a city. It is barely a village. It is a cluster of roundhouses, huddled together like mushrooms springing from the earth. Let us move closer, quietly. We are just spirits in the wind. We will not disturb them. Walk up to one of the roundhouses. Look at the walls. They are not made of brick or stone. They are made of wattle and daub, woven branches plastered with mud and straw. Reach out and touch the wall. It feels rough, textured like coarse sandpaper. It is warm to the touch, having absorbed the heat of the sun all day long. You can see the fingerprints of the person who smoothed this mud years ago. A human mark, a connection across time. The roof is a conical hat of thick thatch, dried reeds gathered from the riverbank. It smells of dried grass and summer dust. I have always loved that smell, haven't you? It reminds me of barns, of harvest time, of sleeping in haylofts. There is a doorway covered by a heavy animal skin. The skin is worn smooth, the fur turning gray with age. It sways gently in the evening breeze, making a soft swish, swish sound against the doorframe. In the center of the clearing, a fire is burning. This is the heart of the village, the television of the ancient world. Everyone is gathered around it. Let us join them. Find a space in the circle. No one looks up. To them, you are just a shadow. a draft of cool air. Sit down on a log. It is an old oak log, polished smooth by countless people sitting on it over the years. It feels solid and grounding beneath you. Look at the fire. Really look at it. It is hypnotic, isn't it? The flames dance and twist, never repeating the same shape twice. At the base, the fire is a deep, glowing blue, hot and intense. Higher up, it turns into tongues of orange and yellow, licking at the cool evening air. And at the very tips, it dissolves into gray smoke, rising up, up, up into the darkening sky. Crackle, pop. A piece of wood snaps in the heat. A shower of tiny sparks flies upwards, swirling like fireflies before fading into the night. Crackle, hiss. The sap in the wood boils and sings. Feel the warmth on your face. It prickles your skin, flushing your cheeks. Your front is warm, toasty warm, while your back feels the cool embrace of the coming night. That contrast, the warmth of the fire against the cold of the dark, is one of the most comforting sensations a human being can experience. It makes you want to curl up, to pull your knees to your chest, to close your eyes. Around the fire, life is happening in slow motion. To your left, an old man is making a tool. Watch his hands. They are weathered, mapped with wrinkles and scars, but strong. He holds a nodule of flint in his left hand, a gray stone, cold and hard. In his right hand, he holds a rounded hammerstone. He strikes. Click. A sharp flake of flint flies off. He pauses. He turns the stone. He inspects the edge with his thumb, checking for sharpness. He is in no rush. He has all the time in the world. He strikes again. Click. The rhythm is steady, predictable, soothing. Click. Pause. Click. Pause. It is the heartbeat of the Stone Age. He is not just making a tool. He is crafting survival. There is a profound mindfulness in his work. He is completely present. He is not worrying about tomorrow. He is not regretting yesterday. He is just here with the stone. To your right, a woman is weaving a basket from willow branches. Her fingers move with a dexterity that is mesmerizing to watch. Over, under, pull tight. Over, under, pull tight. The willow branches create a soft rustle, creak, sound as they are bent into shape. The smell of the green wood is sharp and fresh, cutting through the smoke. She is humming a low, wordless tune. A lullaby, perhaps, or just a song to pass the time. The melody is simple, repetitive, rising and falling like the breath of a sleeping child. A bubbling sound draws your attention. Over the fire, a clay pot is suspended. Inside, a stew is simmering. It smells of wild herbs, thyme, perhaps, or wild garlic, and root vegetables. The steam rises in thick, white ribbons, curling around the faces of the people. It is a savory, earthy smell that makes your stomach feel warm just imagining it. Someone stirs the pot with a wooden ladle, slosh, and gurgle. The sound of the thick liquid is heavy and satisfying. The sky is fully dark now. Look up. Oh, look up. You have never seen a sky like this. Without the light pollution of the modern city, the heavens are unveiled in all their glory. The Milky Way is not just a smudge. It is a thick, bright band of cloud-like light, stretching from one horizon to the other. You can see depth in it. You can see the layers of stars, some bright and piercing, others faint and distant dust. There are so many stars that you cannot find the black space between them. It is a ceiling of diamonds, a blanket of infinity covering the little village. It makes you feel small, doesn't it? But not lonely, never lonely. You feel held, you feel watched over by the ancestors of the stars. The conversation around the fire is dying down. The work is finished for the day. The flint tool is set aside. The basket is placed on the ground. The people are starting to yawn. It is a contagious action. You feel a yawn rising in your own throat, stretching your jaw, filling your lungs with the cool night air. It is time to rest. The concept of insomnia does not exist here. When the dark comes, the body knows what to do. The circadian rhythm is perfect, unbroken. One by one, they stand up. They stretch their limbs, casting long, dancing shadows against the huts. They move slowly towards their doorways. Let us follow one family inside. Lift the heavy skin flap of the door. Swish. Inside the roundhouse, it is pitch black, save for the dying embers of a small hearth in the center. The air is warm and still. It smells of dry earth, furs, and sleep. The floor is covered in dried bracken and layers of soft animal pelts, sheepskins, perhaps wolfskins. It looks incredibly soft. A nest, a human nest. You watch as they lie down. There are no separate rooms, no separate beds. They sleep together, a pile of bodies seeking warmth and comfort. The breathing of one becomes the rhythm for the others. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Soon, the whole hut is breathing in unison, a collective sigh of relief that they have survived another day. You find a corner for yourself. The shadows welcome you. You lie down on the phantom memory of a sheepskin rug. It is softer than any memory foam mattress. It holds you. It embraces you. Listen to the sounds of the settlement, settling down for the night. Outside, the main fire is burning down to embers. Pop, a faint sound. A dog barks once in the distance, then falls silent. An owl hoots from the woods. Who? A mournful, lonely, beautiful sound. And always, the river. Lap, lap. Shh. The river is the guardian. It creates a boundary between the safety of the village and the wild darkness beyond. As long as the river flows, life goes on. Lying here in the dark, you realize how simple life can be. We complicate things so much, don't we? We worry about status, about money, about the future. But here, life is boiled down to its essence: warmth, food, connection, rest. There is a profound freedom in that simplicity. Let that freedom wash over you. Let it untie the knots in your stomach. Let it smooth the furrow in your brow. You don't need to be anything right now. You don't need to achieve anything. You just need to be a warm body in a warm hut, listening to the breathing of the world. Your eyelids are so heavy now. They feel like they are made of lead. It is a struggle to keep them open. So don't. Just let them close. Let the darkness behind your eyelids merge with the darkness of the hut. Drift deeper into the comfort. Imagine your body sinking into the furs, sinking into the earth, roots growing from your back, anchoring you to this peaceful moment in time. Time is speeding up again outside, but you are safe inside the dream. Centuries are passing like seconds. The roundhouses will eventually rot and return to the mud. The people will become dust. New people will come. They will bring bronze. They will bring iron. They will bring swords and shields. They will build bridges. They will build walls. But the river will remain, and the need for sleep. The need for this deep, restorative rest that will remain unchanged. We are moving forward now. The wheel of time turns. Creak, turn. Creak, turn. The simple village fades into the mist. The quiet nights of the Stone Age are giving way to something more structured, something louder, something grander. The eagles are coming. The legions are marching. Can you hear the faint rhythm of their boots? Thud, 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 thud. Not a threat, just a rhythm. A marching drumbeat calling us to the next chapter, to Londinium, to the city of stone and order. But we are not there yet. We are in the space between, the transition. Float in this white mist for a while. It is like a soft cloud, cool and refreshing. You are weightless. You are timeless. You are deeply, deeply asleep. Rest now. Gather your strength, for when the sun rises again in our story, we will see the flash of red tunics and the gleam of polished armor. But for now, just darkness, just peace, just sleep. The mist that held us in the space between eras begins to dissipate. Can you feel the change in the rhythm? The chaotic, organic pulse of the wild riverbank is being replaced by something else, something steadier, something stronger. Thump, thump, thump. It is the sound of a heartbeat, but it is also the sound of a hammer striking wood. It is the sound of a pile driver sinking great timbers into the mud of the Thames. We have arrived. The year is 50 AD, or perhaps 100 AD. The timeline is fluid, but the presence is undeniable. The Romans are here. Open your inner eyes. The green marshes are gone. In their place, a grid has been laid upon the earth. Straight lines, sharp angles, order drawn from chaos. You are standing on the first London bridge, not the stone one of nursery rhymes, but a wooden bridge, sturdy and smelling of tar and fresh-cut pine. Below you, the river flows, but it is busier now. Ships with square red sails are docked, their ropes creaking rhythmically against the masts. Creak, groan, creak, groan. A lullaby of the harbor. Walk with me into the city, into Londinium. The ground beneath your feet is paved, hard, flat stones, fitted together with the precision of a puzzle. Feel the solidity of it through your soles. Unlike the soft mud of the forest, this ground pushes back. It says, "We are here to stay." The air smells different. It smells of civilization. The scent of wood smoke is still there, but now it is mixed with the rich, spicy aroma of imported wine, the tang of fish sauce, garum, and the clean, sharp scent of olive oil. The city is bustling, yet from our vantage point, it feels like a harmonious hum, a hive of activity. Look at the buildings. They are made of red brick and white stone. The sun warms the red clay tiles of the roofs, radiating a gentle heat that you can feel on your skin. Let us walk towards the Forum, the heart of the city. It is a vast open square, surrounded by columns, tall, white, fluted columns that reach up towards the blue sky. They stand like sentinels of calm. Touch one as you pass. The marble is cool, smooth as silk under your fingertips. It feels permanent. It feels eternal. In the center of the square, people are walking, men in togas, women in draped stolas. The sound of their sandals on the stone is a mesmerizing percussion. Slap, step, slap, step. There is no hurry here, just the steady flow of commerce and conversation. The voices are murmurs, low and rolling, speaking a language of vowels and soft consonants. Latin. It sounds like a chant, a continuous, flowing river of sound that washes over you without demanding your attention. But the true heart of Roman relaxation lies elsewhere. Let us leave the market and go to the thermae, the baths. Push open the heavy wooden door. A wave of warm, moist air greets you. It carries the scent of lavender and rosemary oil. The noise of the outside world is instantly cut off. Inside, the light is dim and golden, filtering through small glass windows high in the domed ceiling. The air is thick with steam, white, swirling clouds of steam that soften every edge, blurring the room into a dreamlike painting. You are in the tepidarium, the warm room. The floor is heated from below by the hypocaust system. Imagine taking off your shoes. Step onto the mosaic floor. It is warm, delightfully, surprisingly warm. The heat travels up through your feet, spreading into your ankles, your calves, melting the tension in your legs. It is a grounding heat. It anchors you to the earth. Walk slowly through the mist. You can hear the sound of water dripping. Drip, drip, splash. The echo in the stone room makes every drop sound like a musical note. Find a marble bench in the corner. Sit down. The stone bench is also warm. Lean your back against the wall. Warmth surrounds you from every side. It penetrates your muscles, loosening the knots in your shoulders. Close your eyes in the steam. Breathe in the humidity. It opens your lungs. It soothes your throat. Inhale the scent of herbs. Exhale the dust of the day. Around you, shadowy figures move slowly in the mist. You hear the splash of water as someone steps into a pool, the sound of a sponge being squeezed, the low murmur of relaxed conversation. It is a communal solitude. Everyone is together, yet everyone is in their own private world of sensation. Time passes slowly in the bathhouse. There is no sun to mark the hour, only the shifting quality of the steam. You feel your body becoming heavier, softer. Your skin feels plump with moisture. Your eyelids are heavy with the weight of relaxation. You are a citizen of Rome now. You are safe within the walls. The Great Wall of London encircles the city, 2 miles long, 20 feet high, a ring of stone protecting you from the wild world outside. Nothing can harm you here. The legions are watching. The walls are standing. You can let go. Let us drift from the day into the night. We leave the bathhouse and float towards a villa on the outskirts of the city. Night has fallen over Londinium. The streets are quiet, save for the footsteps of the night watch. Inside the villa, a single oil lamp is burning on a table. Focus on that flame. It is small, shaped like a teardrop. It floats in a pool of golden olive oil. The wick is black, burning steadily. The light it casts is warm and amber, creating long, dancing shadows on the painted plaster walls. The room is cozy. There are heavy wool curtains pulled across the window to keep out the damp English night. A charcoal brazier glows softly in the corner, radiating a dry, sleepy heat. Click, crack. The charcoal settles. There is a bed waiting for you. A Roman bed, piled high with wool blankets and soft linen pillows stuffed with feathers. Lie down. Feel the texture of the linen against your cheek. Cool at first, then quickly warming to your body heat. The mattress is firm but yielding. Pull the heavy wool blanket up to your chin. The weight of it is comforting. It presses you down into the mattress, signaling to your body that it is time to stop moving. Listen to the silence of the Roman night. Far away, a dog barks. Even further away, the faint sound of the river against the docks. But here, in this room, there is only the faint hiss of the oil lamp. Mine. Sa. Watch the flame flicker one last time. Someone comes in and gently blows it out. Darkness, but not a scary darkness. A warm, domestic darkness. The darkness of a well-ordered house in a well-ordered city. Sleep comes easily here. It marches in like a disciplined legion, conquering your mind, demanding surrender. And you surrender willingly. You drift in the dark. Years pass. Decades pass. Centuries pass. The oil lamp runs dry. The roof tiles slip. The plaster cracks. The order of Rome begins to fade. The legions leave, marching away down the long, straight roads, never to return. The city is left alone. The silence grows deeper. The stone grows colder. Nature begins to creep back in. Green vines crawl over the white marble. Roots pry apart the red bricks. Londinium falls asleep, a long, deep sleep of abandonment. We float over the ruins, watching the slow decay. It is not sad. It is peaceful. It is just the earth reclaiming its own, dust to dust, stone to earth. And then a new feeling comes, a chill in the air, a sharp, biting cold. The sky turns a heavy, leaden gray. The first flake of snow falls, then another, and another. Winter is coming, the long winter of the Anglo-Saxons. Prepare yourself for a different kind of warmth, the warmth of survival against the cold. Drift with the snowflakes, down, down, towards the wooden huts of Londonwick. Snow. It is falling softly, silently, covering the scars of the old world. We are drifting through a white veil. The great stone city of Londinium is a ghost now, a skeleton of jagged walls jutting out from the snowdrifts like broken teeth. The Romans are long gone. Their straight roads are buried. Their bathhouses are cold crypts. But life has not left. It has just moved. It has shifted west, to the area we now call Covent Garden, to Londonwick. The atmosphere here is completely different. Gone is the echo of stone. Here, the world is muffled. Snow has a way of swallowing sound. Haven't you noticed? It creates a hush over the world, a blanket of silence. Shh. The snow whispers as it lands. You are standing ankle deep in the snow. It is powdery and dry. The air is freezing, crisp and clean as a blade. It stings your nose when you inhale, waking up your senses before lulling them back into hibernation. Look at the settlement. There are no grand columns here, just timber, dark, heavy oak timber. The houses are long halls, their roofs steep and thatched with straw, now covered in a thick layer of white snow. They look like sleeping bears huddled together for warmth. Smoke rises from the smoke holes in the roofs, straight up into the still, gray air. It smells of oak and pine, a sweet, resinous scent that hangs low over the village. Let us go inside. The cold is biting now. You need warmth. Approach the largest hall, the chieftain's hall. The door is heavy wood, bound with iron. Push it open. Creak. A blast of warmth hits you instantly. It is a physical force, pushing back the winter. Step inside and close the door behind you. The wind is shut out. The silence of the snow is replaced by the low, comforting murmur of life inside. The hall is dim, lit only by the central hearth, a long fire pit running down the middle of the room. This is not the polite, contained fire of a Roman lamp. This is a living beast. Logs the size of tree trunks are burning, glowing with a deep, intense red heat. The floor is packed earth, covered in dry rushes and herbs, meadowsweet and lavender that release a faint, sweet scent when stepped on. Crunch, rustle, crunch. Walk towards the fire. Feel the heat growing stronger with every step. It thaws your frozen cheeks. It seeps into your cold hands. The hall is filled with people, but it is not noisy. It is a time of rest. Winter is the season of storytelling, of waiting, of sleeping. Men and women are sitting on benches covered in furs or lying on the raised platforms along the walls. They are repairing nets, carving wood, or simply staring into the flames. There is a dog lying near the fire, a great, shaggy wolfhound. He lifts his head as you pass, thumps his tail once on the floor, thump, and goes back to sleep. Even the animals are in a state of hibernation. Find a place on a bench near the fire. A thick bearskin has been laid out for you. The fur is coarse but incredibly warm. Sink into it. Wrap it around your shoulders. The contrast between the blizzard outside and the sanctuary inside makes the warmth feel even sweeter. You can hear the wind howling around the eaves of the roof. Woo, woo. It rattles the door, trying to get in, but it can't. You are safe. The heavy oak beams above you are solid. They have stood against 100 storms. They will stand against this one too. Someone is telling a story. An old man with a white beard is speaking in a low, rhythmic voice. He is speaking Old English, a guttural, earthy language that sounds like stones rolling in a riverbed. You don't need to understand the words to understand the feeling. He is telling a tale of heroes and monsters, of dragons and treasures. His voice rises and falls, hypnotic and soothing. Wet. Listen. The listeners are captivated. Their eyes reflect the dancing flames. The firelight flickers on their faces, golden shadow, golden shadow. The rhythm of the storyteller's voice matches the rhythm of the fire. Crackle, voice, crackle, voice. A woman approaches you. She offers you a wooden cup. Take it. It is warm in your hands. Inside is warm mead, honey wine spiced with herbs. Lift it to your lips. Drink. It is sweet, thick, and warm. It flows down your throat like liquid gold, warming your stomach, spreading a heavy, pleasant drowsiness through your limbs. The taste of honey, the taste of summer sunshine, stored in a jar, released now in the depths of winter. Your body feels heavy, so heavy. The bare skin is so warm. The drone of the storyteller's voice is becoming a blur. The fire is mesmerizing. You watch a log crumble into glowing embers. The sparks fly up towards the smoke hole, joining the stars outside. You lean back against the wooden wall. The wood vibrates slightly with the wind outside, a hum that resonates with your spine. You feel protected. You feel part of a pack. In this hall, there is no loneliness. Everyone is together against the cold. Your eyes begin to close. The scene in front of you fades into a warm, orange blur. The sounds soften. The wind becomes a lullaby. The storyteller's voice becomes a chant. You are drifting back to a simpler time, when the night was for sleeping, when winter was for resting. There is no guilt in resting here. It is survival. It is necessary. So let go. Let the mead weigh down your limbs. Let the fire warm your dreams. Outside, the snow continues to fall, layer upon layer, burying the world in silence, white on white, soft on soft. The village of Londonwick disappears into the white. Only the smoke rising from the halls marks its existence. A tiny island of warmth in a sea of cold. And you are there, safe in the center of it, deeply asleep, dreaming of dragons, dreaming of gold, dreaming of spring that is far, far away. But for now, there is only the winter and the fire and the sleep. Rest here. Let the centuries turn like the pages of a book. The snow melts, the grass grows, the wooden halls rot and return to the earth, just like the Roman stones before them. But the land remains, and the river remains, waiting for the next chapter, waiting for the kings, waiting for the towers. But you just sleep, safe in the long, dark winter of the past. We are leaving the winter behind. Slowly, the snow of the Anglo-Saxon village melts away into the earth, feeding the roots of the ancient oaks. The wooden halls, with their warm fires and thatched roofs, fade into the mist of memory. They were temporary. They were organic. They were meant to return to the soil. But now we are entering an age of permanence. The age of stone. The age of silence. The age of awe. The year is 1078, or perhaps 1090. Time moves sluggishly here, dragged down by the sheer weight of the architecture rising around us. We are drifting east, towards the edge of the city. The air here feels different. It is no longer soft with the scent of pine and wet grass. It is sharp. It is heavy. It tastes of mineral dust, of iron, of wet mortar drying in the wind. It tastes of power. Looming out of the gray London fog is a shape that defies the natural landscape. The White Tower. To the people of the 11th century, living in their small wooden huts, this must have looked like a mountain that fell from the sky. It stands 90 feet tall, a height that was unimaginable at the time. It is not gray, as we see it today. It has been whitewashed. It gleams. It shines with a blinding, terrifying brightness against the overcast sky. A beacon of authority, a statement that says, I am here, and I am not moving. Let us approach it, not as prisoners, but as ghosts, as observers of the stillness. We land on the ground outside the fortress walls. The earth here is hard-packed, mixed with gravel and chips of flint. Crunch, crunch, crunch. Every step you take makes a sharp, gritty sound. It is a sound that wakes you up to the reality of the physical world. Reach out your hand. Place it against the outer wall of the tower. Do it. Feel the stone. It is Kentish ragstone, rough, uneven, jagged. It feels like the skin of a prehistoric beast turned to fossil. It is cold, so incredibly cold. This is not the surface cold of a winter breeze. This is a deep, geological cold, a cold that has been trapped inside this rock for millions of years, since before there were humans, before there was a river. When you touch it, you feel that cold seeping into your fingertips, traveling up your arm, slowing down your pulse. It is a calming cold, a numbing cold. It tells your nervous system to slow down, to stop vibrating, to become as still as the stone itself. We are going to go inside. We float up towards the entrance, which is high above the ground. The door is massive, oak, dark, seasoned oak, thick as a man's torso. It is studded with iron nails, black and rusty. Push it open. It resists. It is heavy. It requires effort. Grrrr. The hinges cry out a low, mournful sound that echoes into the void inside. And then, silence. As the door thuds shut behind us, thud the world of the living is cut off instantly. No bird song, no wind, no river noise, no voices, only the sound of your own breath. Inhale, exhale. The air inside is different. It is still, dead still. It has not moved for centuries. It smells of damp limestone, of old tallow candles, of dry rot, and faintly, very faintly, of metal. We are walking through the corridors now. The walls are immensely thick, 15 feet of solid masonry. You are essentially walking through a man-made cave. The temperature drops even further. You wrap your imaginary cloak tighter around yourself, but it is a safe feeling. You are deep inside the womb of the fortress. Nothing can reach you here. No storm, no fire, no enemy. You are held in the crushing embrace of safety. We arrive at the Chapel of St. John. This is the heart of the silence. It is a sanctuary carved out of rock. Look at the columns. They are not delicate Gothic pillars. They are Norman columns, thick, round, brutally simple. They look like the legs of elephants turned to stone. They are unadorned, no carvings, no statues, just pure, unadulterated strength. The light here is sparse. It filters in through narrow, arched windows that look like slits in a helmet. The walls are so thick that the light has to tunnel its way through to reach us. By the time it hits the floor, the light is soft, diffuse, and gray. It catches the dust motes floating in the air, millions of tiny particles, suspended in the stillness. Let your eyes focus on them. They are not falling. They are not rising. They are just hovering, drifting milliliter by milliliter. Watch one dust mote, just one. See it catch a glimmer of light. It turns slowly. It is a tiny world unto itself. Watching it makes your eyelids heavy. Your gaze softens. You stop blinking. The stillness of the dust becomes the stillness of your mind. Walk slowly down the aisle. The floor is flagged with stone. It is uneven. Your feet find the hollows, worn by centuries of knees and sandals. Scuff, pause, scuff, pause. The echo is short and dry. The stone absorbs the sound, swallowing it up. Find a place to sit. There is a stone bench running along the curved wall of the apse. Sit down. The stone is hard, unyielding, but it supports you completely. You don't need to use any muscles to hold yourself upright. The wall has you. Lean your head back against the cold pillar behind you. Close your eyes. Listen to the silence. It is not an empty silence. It is a heavy silence. It presses against your ears like water deep in the ocean. Can you hear that? It is the sound of your own blood rushing in your ears, the sound of your own existence. In this chamber of stone, you are the only living thing, the only warm thing, You are a tiny spark of heat in a mountain of cold. Cherish that warmth. Feel it glowing in your chest. A small, golden ember of life. Let us rest here for a moment. Let the weight of the tower press down on your shoulders, pushing away the tension. Let the thickness of the walls block out the intrusive thoughts of the modern world. Here, there is only the year 1080. There is only the king, and God, and the stone. Everything else is fleeting. Your worries, fleeting. Your to-do list, fleeting. Only this silence is real. But the river calls us again. We cannot stay in the fortress forever. We need to move. Let your spirit detach from the stone bench. Float upwards, through the arched ceiling, through the roof, back into the gray sky. We drift westwards now, following the winding, silver ribbon of the Thames. The river is wider here, flowing past marshy banks and reed beds. We are heading towards Thorny Island, a place of thorns, a place of wildness. But rising from the mud is another giant, Westminster Abbey. This is not the fortress of a warrior king. This is the palace of a pious king, Edward the Confessor. We approach the great west door. It is early morning. A mist hangs low over the marsh, swirling around the base of the abbey. The building looms out of the fog like a great ship at sea. It is vast. If the tower was heavy, the abbey is soaring. Enter. The sensation is instant vertigo. Your eyes are drawn up, into the shadows of the vaulted ceiling, hidden in darkness far above. The space is so big, it creates its own weather system. Clouds of incense hang in the air, blue and fragrant. Frankincense, myrrh, the scent of holiness, the scent of prayer. Walk down the nave. The floor is tiled with intricate patterns, cosmati pavement, circles of onyx and porphyry, swirling like galaxies under your feet. It is dark inside. The only light comes from hundreds of beeswax candles flickering in the choir stalls. Flicker, flitter. The light is alive. It breathes. It casts long, dancing shadows on the stone statues of saints and kings. Watch the shadows move. They stretch and contract. They seem to be nodding, bowing, sleeping. The acoustics here are miraculous. Far away, behind the rude screen, the monks are chanting, Benedictine monks. Their lives are dedicated to the rhythm of prayer. Listen, Kyrie, eleison. The voices are deep, baritone, bass. They do not sing like individuals. They sing as one organism. A wall of sound. The sound waves travel through the vast emptiness of the cathedral. They bounce off the stone walls, mixing, mingling, creating a reverb that lasts for seconds. Sun, nonanon. You can feel the sound in your body. It vibrates against your ribcage. It vibrates in the soles of your feet. It vibrates in the center of your forehead. It is a massage for the soul, a sonic blanket wrapping around you. Find a pew, a dark, polished wooden pew, worn smooth by millions of hands. Slide into it. The wood is cool and hard. Kneel down if you wish, or just sit. Look at the stained glass windows high above. Even in the dim light, they glow. Deep ruby reds, profound ocean blues, forest greens. They are not just windows, they are jewels. Imagine the light passing through the blue glass. It falls on your hand. Your skin turns a soft, ghostly blue. It feels cool, calming, like being underwater. Now imagine the light passing through the red glass. It falls on your face. It feels warm, protecting, like the blood in your veins. In this vast space, time loses all meaning. The monks chant the hours, matins, lauds, vespers, compline. The sun moves across the sky, lighting up different windows, telling a slow, colorful story on the stone floor. You are small here, but it is a good kind of small. You are a grain of sand, on a vast beach. You don't have to be important. You don't have to be in charge. You just have to be here, witnessing the light, hearing the chant, feeling the stone. The air is thick with history. Every king and queen has walked here. Every prayer ever whispered here is still trapped in the stone, echoing faintly. Can you hear them? Millions of whispers. Peace, peace, peace. They merge into a soft white noise, like the sound of the ocean in a shell. It lulls you. It rocks you. Your head begins to nod. The chant of the monks becomes a drone, a low, vibrating hum that puts your brainwaves into a trance. The smell of the beeswax candles is so sweet, so heavy, it acts like a sedative. The shadows lengthen. The candles burn lower. Drip, drip, wax dripping onto stone. Time melting away. You are safe in the abbey. The stone walls are thick. The doors are barred. The marsh outside can be cold and wet. The city outside can be noisy and dangerous. But inside, there is only the eternal order of God and stone. Perfect symmetry, perfect harmony, perfect sleep. Let yourself sink into the wood of the pew. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw unclench. The stone sentinels are watching over you. The saints in the windows are watching over you. The lions in the tower are watching over you. You are guarded by the history of 1,000 years. Nothing can touch you. Drift deeper into the shadows of the cathedral. Become one with the darkness between the columns. Become a shadow. Become a whisper. Become silence. The chant fades. The candle flickers out. Darkness. Stone. Sleep. We leave the stone sentinels behind. The heavy, cold silence of the tower and the abbey fades into the mist. We are lighter now. We are no longer grounded by the immense weight of masonry. We are drifting back towards the river, drawn by the sound of water. Can you hear it? At first, it is just a low murmur, like the wind in the trees. Shh. But as we float closer, the sound changes. It deepens. It grows. It becomes a roar, a constant, powerful, thundering roar that vibrates in the very air around us. We are approaching the year 1209, or perhaps 1400, or 1500. The date matters less than the structure itself. Spanning the wide, dark ribbon of the River Thames is a miracle of the medieval world. Old London Bridge. It is not merely a crossing. It is a city suspended in the air, a neighborhood floating above the tide. 19 stone arches, rising from the churning water like the backs of gray whales, and perched upon these arches, clinging to them like barnacles, are houses, hundreds of them. Tall, narrow, timber-framed houses that lean in towards each other, creating a tunnel of humanity over the river. It is twilight, the blue hour. The sky is a deep, bruised indigo, reflecting on the restless surface of the water. We land softly on the Southwark bank, looking north across the bridge. It is a breathtaking sight. Lanterns are being lit in the windows of the houses, tiny pinpricks of orange light stringing across the darkness like a necklace of amber beads. Flicker, glow, flicker, glow. They cast long, dancing reflections on the black water below. Let us walk onto the bridge, pass under the great stone gate at the southern end. The portcullis is raised, its iron teeth grinning above you. The stone archway creates a wind tunnel. You feel a gust of river air, cool, damp, smelling of salt and wet oak rush past your face, blowing your hair back. It wakes you up, just for a moment, before the bridge lulls you back to sleep. Your feet step onto the cobblestones. Clack, clack, clack. These stones are not even. They are worn smooth, polished by the feet of millions. Merchants, pilgrims, soldiers, kings. Feel the unevenness through the soles of your imaginary shoes. Some stones are loose. They shift slightly under your weight, with a gritty crunch. The street is narrow. so narrow that two carts can barely pass each other, but it is quiet now. The bustle of the day is over. The shops that line the bridge, the haberdashers, the glovers, the bookbinders, have closed their wooden shutters. Slam, bolt. The sound of a heavy iron bolt sliding home is a sound of safety. The bridge is locking itself in for the night. Walk slowly down the center of the street. Look up. The houses on either side are 3, 4, sometimes 5 stories high. As they go up, each story jetties out further than the one below, so that at the very top, the roofs almost touch. They block out the sky, leaving only a sliver of stars, visible directly above. It feels like walking through a canyon made of wood and plaster. Reach out and touch the wall of a house. The timber beams are black, coated in tar to protect them from the river damp. They feel sticky, rough, and warm. The white plaster between the beams is cool and chalky. This is a living structure. Wood breathes. Wood moves. If you stand perfectly still and press your ear against the timber beam, you can hear it creak, groan, a low musical note. The house is adjusting its weight. It is settling down for the night, just like you. But the overwhelming sensation here is the vibration. You can feel it in your teeth. You can feel it in your knees. The whole bridge is trembling. Why? Because of the river below. The 19 arches of the bridge are narrow. The starlings, the protective islands around the pillars, are wide. This restricts the flow of the tidal Thames. Acting like a dam, the water has to squeeze through the narrow gaps. It rushes. It churns. It boils. The water level on one side of the bridge can be 6 feet higher than on the other. It creates a perpetual waterfall. Rowed out. It is loud, yes, but it is not a jagged, irritating noise. It is a pink noise, deeper than white noise, smoother than brown noise. It is a blanket of sound that covers everything else. It drowns out the crying of a baby. It drowns out the barking of a dog. It drowns out your own racing thoughts. It is a sonic wall, and you are safe behind it. Let us find a place to rest. Halfway across the bridge, there is a tall, narrow house belonging to a candle maker, a chandler. A sign hangs above the door. 3 wax candles painted on a wooden board. The sign swings in the river breeze. Squeak, creak, squeak, creak. A pendulum marking the passage of time. The door is unlocked for us. Push it open. The noise of the river is instantly muffled, turning from a roar into a deep, resonant hum. The air inside is warm and smells divine. It smells of hot beeswax, tallow, lavender, and dried herbs hanging from the rafters. It is a thick, golden smell that coats the back of your throat and makes your eyelids heavy. The ground floor is the shop. Rows of creamy white candles hang by their wicks from the ceiling, looking like sleeping bats. We climb the stairs. The staircase is a spiral, winding up the spine of the house. The steps are made of elm wood. They are steep and narrow. Creak, step, creak, step. Every step sings a different note. This house knows you are here. It welcomes you. We go up past the kitchen on the first floor. The embers of a fire are glowing in the hearth, casting a warm orange light on the copper pots hanging on the wall. Up past the solar, the living room, on the second floor. Up, to the very top, under the eaves. The bedroom. It is a small room, shaped like a tent by the sloping roof. The ceiling is low. You have to stoop slightly. It makes you feel protected, hidden away. There is a small window, barely a foot square, with thick, diamond-shaped panes of glass. The glass is old, filled with bubbles and waves. Walk to the window. Unlatch it. Click. Push it open. The wind rushes in, cold and fresh. Look down. Far, far below 60 feet down is the water. It is black ink, swirling with white foam where it hits the stone pillars. The power of it is terrifying and beautiful. It is relentless. It never stops. It never sleeps, so that you don't have to. The river is doing the work for you. It is carrying the burden of the world to the sea. You can let go. Pull the window shut. Thud. Latch it tight. The roar fades back to that comforting hum. There is a bed in the corner, a wooden frame with a mattress stuffed with goose feathers. It looks incredibly soft. A cloud, trapped in ticking fabric. There are heavy wool blankets, dyed a deep, madder red, and a patchwork quilt. Sit on the edge of the bed. The mattress sinks under you with a soft whoosh of air. Lie down. Pull the blankets up to your chin. Burrow your head into the feather pillow. Now, feel the house. Lie perfectly still. Can you feel it? Sway. Sway. The house is rocking. It is subtle. You have to really pay attention to feel it, but it is there. The force of the water rushing through the arches below causes the stone to vibrate, and that vibration travels up the wood, turning into a gentle swaying motion at the top of the house. It is like being in a cradle. It is like being on a ship anchored in a safe harbor. Left, right, forward, back. It is the rhythm of the womb, the rhythm of safety. Close your eyes. Visualize the structure holding you up, the massive oak beams, darkened by age, locked together with wooden pegs. They are strong. They have held this roof up for 200 years. They will hold it for tonight. Below them, the stone arches, planted deep in the riverbed. Below them, the earth. You are supported. You are held. Listen to the sound of the bridge at night. The wood is settling as it cools down from the day. Pop. A beam contracts. Tick. A nail shifts. The wind whistles softly around the chimney pots. Woo. And underneath it all, that constant, deep bass note of the river. Om. It creates a vibration in your chest cavity, a purring sensation. It loosens the tightness in your solar plexus. It unravels the knot in your stomach. Imagine the other people on the bridge. In the house next door, a baker is sleeping. In the house across the street, a mercer is sleeping. 600 people, all suspended over the water, all rocking to the same rhythm. You are part of a floating dream, a village in the sky. Your breathing slows down to match the sway of the house. Inhale, sway, left. Exhale, sway, right. Inhale, sway left. Exhale, sway right. It is hypnotic, irresistible. The boundary between your body and the bed begins to dissolve. You feel like you are melting into the feathers. You feel like you are becoming liquid, like the river below. Let your mind drift out of the window again. Float down towards the water, but don't touch it. Just hover above it. Watch the water flow through the arches. It flows from west to east, from the source to the sea. Imagine putting a small paper boat on the water. Put a worry inside that boat, something that has been bothering you today. Watch it catch the current. It spins once, twice, and then it shoots through the archway. Gone, carried away into the dark. Put another worry in another boat. Watch it go. Whoosh. Gone. The river takes it all. It asks for nothing in return. It just washes it away. You are empty now. Clean, light. You float back up to the window, back through the glass, back into your warm body, lying in the feather bed. The smell of beeswax is still there. The warmth of the wool is still there. But you are heavier now. So heavy you couldn't move a finger if you wanted to. And you don't want to. You just want to rock. Sway, sway, creak, creak, roar, hum. The candle flame in the lantern outside the window flickers and dies. The bridge goes dark. Only the stars remain above, and the water below, and you, safe in the middle, suspended in the majestic silence of the night, drifting deeper and deeper into the wooden city of dreams. The night stretches on. The tide turns. The sound of the water changes pitch, becoming softer, gentler. The rocking slows down. The bridge settles into a deep slumber, and so do you. Wrapped in wood, wrapped in wool, wrapped in water. Sleep. The wooden city is gone. The bridge we were sleeping on. The creaking timber houses. The narrow, twisting alleys that blocked out the sky. They have all drifted away into the mist of the past. We are moving forward. The wheel of time turns. Click, turn, click, turn. The year is 1666. September, the month when London changed forever. We are standing on a hill, Ludgate Hill, but the air is strange. It is quiet. Not the quiet of sleep, but the quiet of emptiness. The great fire has passed. The roaring beast that ate the medieval city has eaten its fill and gone back to sleep. Now, there is only the aftermath. Look around you. There are no houses. There are no spires. There are no streets. There is only a vast, open landscape of gray ash and blackened stone. It looks like the surface of the moon. The ground is still warm beneath your feet. You can feel the heat radiating up through the soles of your shoes. A gentle, dying heat. Hiss. It is raining. A soft, steady, merciful English rain. Watch the raindrops falling from the heavy gray sky. They hit the hot ash. Pitter, hiss, pitter, hiss. Tiny plumes of white steam curl up from the ground, twisting and dancing like ghosts before vanishing into the air. The smell is intense. It is the smell of the world being reset. It smells of wet charcoal, of burnt oak, of scorched stone, and underneath it all, the clean, metallic scent of the rain. Ozone. It is a purifying smell. The fire didn't just destroy. It cleansed. It burned away the dirt of the centuries. It burned away the plague that was hiding in the dark corners. It burned away the rats and the fleas. It left the city sterile, clean, empty, ready for a new dream. Stand in this emptiness for a moment. Feel the space. For the first time in 1,000 years, you can see the horizon. You can see the curve of the river. You can see the sky, a huge, unbroken dome of gray clouds. There is a sense of release here. The tightness of the medieval city is gone. Your chest feels looser. Your breath comes easier. You are witnessing the great pause, the moment between the exhale of the old city and the inhale of the new one. Rest in this pause. Let the rain wash the soot from your imaginary coat. Let the silence settle in your mind. The slate has been wiped clean. Time speeds up again. Fast forward. The rain stops. The ash is cleared away by thousands of hands. The barges start arriving on the river. Heavily laden barges, sitting low in the water. Creak, splash, creak, splash. They are bringing the new skin of London. Stone, Portland stone. It comes from the Jurassic coast, far away. It is white, dazzlingly, creamy white. It is filled with the fossils of ancient sea creatures. London is going to be rebuilt, not with wood that burns, but with stone that glows. We are watching a miracle rise from the ashes on Ludgate Hill. St. Paul's Cathedral. Sir Christopher Wren's dream of order and light. It rises slowly, layer by layer, block by block. We hear the sound of the masons. Chink, chink, chink. It is a precise sound. Metal chisel hitting stone. It is not the chaotic hammering of the wooden city. It is the rhythmic tapping of logic and reason. Mathematics turned into stone. The year becomes 1710. The cathedral is finished. It stands before you now. Massive, magnificent. It is a mountain of white stone carved by angels. Let us approach the west front. The steps are wide and shallow. Walk up them. Step, pause, step, pause. You feel small, but not crushed. You feel elevated. The columns rise up to meet the sky. 2 tiers of Corinthian columns. They are smooth, pale, and perfect. Put your hand on a column. It feels like frozen milk. Smooth, cool, dry. It absorbs the heat from your hand instantly. The doors are open. They are huge, heavy oak doors, but they are painted with gold. Let us cross the threshold, leaving the noise of the 18th century street behind. The cries of the hawkers, the rattle of the carriage wheels, they all fade as we pass under the lintel. Fade. Silence. You are inside. The first thing that hits you is the light. After the darkness of the medieval churches, this is a revelation. The windows are clear glass, large, rectangular windows that let the honest white daylight pour in. The light washes over the white walls. It fills every corner. There are no shadows here for monsters to hide in. Everything is illuminated. Everything is clear. Take a deep breath. The air inside the cathedral is different from the air outside. It is cool. Still, it tastes of stone, dust, and vastness. It is high-altitude air. It feels thin and pure in your lungs. Inhale the clarity. Exhale the confusion. Look at the floor. You are standing on a giant chessboard, black and white, marble tiles, laid out in a perfect geometric grid. Walk across it. Click, clack, click, clack. Your footsteps echo, but it is a crisp echo, a short, sharp return of sound. The acoustics are precise. Follow the lines on the floor. Straight lines, perfect right angles. Your mind loves this geometry. It craves it. After the messiness of life, the order of this floor is deeply soothing. Left foot on white, right foot on black. Left on white, right on black. A walking meditation, bringing your mind into alignment. Walk towards the center. You are approaching the heart of the building, the crossing. Above you is the dome, the great dome of St. Paul's. Stop directly in the center. Look up and up and up. It opens like a flower, a vast white hemisphere, suspended 365 feet above your head, 1 foot for every day of the year. It seems to float there, defying gravity. It is like a second sky, captured and brought indoors. Paintings of saints swirl around the inside of the dome, but they are so high up, they look like clouds, soft grays and blues. Looking up at the dome creates a feeling of vertigo, but a pleasant one. Lift. You feel your spirit being pulled upwards, out of your body, towards the light at the top. The oculus, the eye of the dome, a small circle of light at the very apex. It looks like a portal to heaven, or a portal to sleep. Let us float up there, weightless, drifting up past the arches, past the windows, to the whispering gallery. This is a balcony that runs around the base of the dome, high above the floor. It is quiet here. Sit on the narrow wooden bench that curves around the wall. The wall is smooth, cold plaster. Lean your head back against it. Close your eyes. The acoustics here are magic, a scientific miracle. The curve of the wall carries sound like water in a pipe. Imagine someone on the exact opposite side of the dome, 100 feet away, across the empty air. Imagine they are whispering a secret to you. Watch the sound travel. It slides along the wall. Sure. It moves past the painted saints. It moves past the stone arches. It arrives at your ear, clear as a bell. Rest, rest. The dome is whispering to you. The building itself is telling you that it is safe to let go. The silence in St. Paul's is not a heavy silence. It is an uplifting silence. It holds you up. It feels like floating in a pool of cool water. Float in the space. Feel the immense volume of air beneath you. Thousands of tons of air. Resting. Static. Peaceful. Look down from the gallery at the floor below. The people walking down there are tiny dots. Their problems are tiny dots. Your problems are tiny dots. From this height, everything looks peaceful. Everything looks manageable. The pattern of the black and white floor makes sense. The pattern of your life makes sense. It is all just geometry. It is all just light and shadow. The sun begins to set outside. The light in the cathedral changes. The bright white daylight turns to a soft, golden honey color. The shadows lengthen across the marble floor. The white stone turns pink, then violet. The cathedral is preparing for the night. The emptiness becomes even more profound in the twilight. A vast, violet cavern of silence. You are the only one left here. Just you and the architecture. You lay down on the bench in the whispering gallery. It curves to fit your back. It is hard, but you don't mind. The solidity is comforting. You are resting in the curve of the dome, like a bird in a nest made of stone, high above the world, safe from the fire, safe from the rain. Listen to the building settling for the night. Thermal expansion and contraction. Tick, a stone cooling down. Creak, a timber in the roof, shifting. These are the sounds of a living building. It breathes. Inhale, the dome expands slightly. Exhale, the dome contracts slightly. You breathe with it. Your rhythm matches the rhythm of the stone. Slow, ancient, enduring. Sir Christopher Wren built this place to bring men closer to the divine. But tonight, it brings you closer to something else. It brings you closer to the void. The peaceful, empty, silent void where sleep lives. Let the white walls absorb your thoughts. Let the dome protect your dreams. You are a part of the geometry now. A perfect point in a perfect circle. Motionless, timeless, weightless. Drift in the white silence. Float in the cool air. The fire is a distant memory. There is only the peace of the aftermath. The peace of the clean slate. The peace of the stone. Part 8. The fog lullaby. The big smoke. The clean, white light of street palls begins to fade. The sharp geometric lines of the 18th century are softening, dissolving. We are drifting forward again. The river of time flows thicker now, slower, burdened by the weight of industry. The year is 1888, or perhaps 1895, the Victorian era. The city has grown monstrously large. It is a sprawling giant of brick and iron, stretching its limbs into the countryside. Millions of chimneys are puffing smoke into the sky. Millions of coal fires are burning in millions of grates. And when that smoke meets the cold, damp air rising from the River Thames, magic happens. Or perhaps a curse. But for us, tonight, it is magic. The fog, the pea souper, the London particular, the big smoke. It descends upon the city like a heavy velvet curtain falling at the end of a play. We are standing on a street corner in Chelsea. It is late evening, November. The air is cold, but it is not the biting, clean cold of the Ice Age. It is a damp, clinging cold. It wraps around you like a wet woolen coat. Taste the air. Open your mouth slightly. It tastes distinct. It tastes of coal dust, of soot, of wet pavement, of faint sulfur, and of strong, black tea brewing somewhere nearby. It is the taste of London. Deep, earthy, industrial. Look around you. You cannot see the end of the street. You cannot even see the other side of the road. The world has shrunk. The fog has erased the horizon. It has erased the sky. It has erased the stars. You are standing in a small, private bubble of visibility, perhaps only 10 feet wide. Everything beyond that bubble is a mystery, a gray, swirling void. This is not frightening. It is comforting. The world is too big, usually, too loud, too demanding. But tonight, the fog has made the world small again, manageable, intimate. You don't have to worry about what is happening a mile away. You can't see a mile away. You only have to be here, right here. Listen to the sound of the city, or rather, the lack of it. London should be roaring. It is the heart of the greatest empire on earth. But the fog acts as a giant muffler, a sonic blanket laid over the rooftops. Hush. Sounds are isolated, detached from their source. Somewhere, out in the gray, a horse is walking. Listen. Clomp, 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 clomp. The hooves strike the wet cobblestones. The sound is dull, hollow. It gets louder for a moment, emerging from the mist, passing your invisible bubble, and then fading away again. Clomp, clomp, gone, like a ghost. A church bell tolls the hour. Big Ben? Or maybe a local parish church. Bung. The sound is heavy, mournful, and distorted. It vibrates through the thick air, hitting your chest like a physical wave. Bong. 11 o'clock. The world is asleep. Let us walk down the street. Your boots are heavy on the stones. Talk, talk, talk. Look at the street lamp ahead. It is a gas lamp. The electric light is too harsh, too new. This is the age of gas. The lamp stands tall, a black iron sentry in the mist. Inside the glass box, the flame is burning. It is not a steady flame. It is a fan of blue and yellow fire, flickering in the draft. Stop beneath it. Look up. The fog catches the light. It creates a halo, a glowing, fuzzy orb of amber light suspended in the gray. It looks like a moon trapped in a spider web. Listen to the lamp. Hiss. Pop. Hiss. The gas is singing a quiet song, a constant, white noise hiss. It is a soothing sound. It means civilization. It means someone is keeping the light on for you. To your left is a row of tall, brick, terraced houses. They loom out of the fog like cliffs, dark, solid, imposing. Railings of black iron guard the basements. Steps of white stone lead up to the front doors. But look at the windows. Oh, the windows. They are the eyes of the home. Heavy velvet curtains, crimson red, bottle green, midnight blue are drawn tight against the night. But they cannot block everything. Through the crack in the curtains, a sliver of light escapes. A warm, golden, pulsing light. Firelight. You can feel the warmth just by looking at it. You know what is inside. You can picture it perfectly. A thick Persian rug, a sleeping cat, a ticking clock, a family safe from the cold. The contrast makes the feeling stronger. The colder and grayer it is outside, the warmer and brighter it is inside. That is the secret of winter. You need the cold to appreciate the heat. We stop at a black door, number 22. The paint is glossy, wet with condensation. There is a brass knocker shaped like a lion's head, polished until it gleams gold in the gaslight. We do not knock. We are spirits. We drift through the wood. Whoosh! The transition is instant. The damp chill of the London street vanishes. You are enveloped in dry, seasoned warmth. You are in the hallway. It smells of beeswax polish, of old umbrellas, of dried lavender, and faintly of tobacco pipe smoke. A sweet cherry wood scent. The floor is covered in tiles, geometric patterns of terracotta and cream. To your right stands a grandfather clock, a tall, mahogany sentinel. Listen to its heart. Tick, tock, and tick, tick, tock. It is a slow, heavy, deliberate rhythm. It is much slower than a modern clock. It swings a heavy brass pendulum. Left, right, left, right. It regulates the pulse of the house. It tells you that there is no rush. Time is heavy here. Time is slow. Walk down the hallway. The floorboards creak affectionately under the rug. Creak. Enter the parlor, or perhaps the library, the study. This is the heart of the Victorian home, the sanctuary. The room is cluttered, but in a cozy way. Horror vacui, fear of empty space. Every surface is covered. Bookshelves line the walls from floor to ceiling, filled with leather-bound books. Their spines are gold and red and brown. They smell of paper and wisdom. There are heavy drapes at the window, blocking out the fog, blocking out the century. The world outside does not exist anymore. There is only this room. In the center of the wall is the fireplace, the altar of the home. A coal fire is burning in the iron grate. Coal burns differently from wood. It burns hotter, more intensely. Look at the heart of the fire. It is a cave of glowing red magma, deep, pulsing oranges and crimsons. Blue flames dance on top, licking the soot-blackened bricks. Crackle, spit, hiss. Occasionally, the coal shifts. Clink, a sound of settling. The heat radiating from it is powerful. It hits your face, flushing your cheeks. It toasts your shins. It is a dry, penetrating heat that sinks right into your bones, melting away the dampness of the fog outside. In front of the fire sits a chair, the ultimate chair, a wingback armchair. It is upholstered in deep, dark, green leather, Chesterfield style, with deep buttons. The leather is old. It is worn smooth at the arms, cracked in a way that looks like a map of an old country. Sit down, creak, sigh. The chair accepts you. It groans softly as you settle into it. The wings on the sides of the chair wrap around your head. They block your peripheral vision. They block the drafts. You are in a cocoon within a cocoon. The house protects you from the city. The room protects you from the house. The chair protects you from the room. Safety nested inside safety. Rest your head back. The leather is cool against your skin for a second, then quickly warms up. Rest your hands on the armrests. Feel the texture. Smooth, solid. Your feet are resting on a tiger skin rug, or perhaps a thick wool rug with a Turkish pattern. Your toes curl in the warmth. On a small mahogany table beside you, a cup of tea is waiting. Bone china, delicate, translucent, painted with tiny pink roses. Steam is rising from the cup. Curl, twist, rise. Watch the steam. It dances in the light of the fire. It smells of Earl Grey, bergamot, citrus, and black tea. Pick it up. The cup is hot. It warms your fingers. Take a sip. The hot liquid flows down your throat. It warms you from the inside, meeting the heat of the fire from the outside. You are glowing. Look around the room through half-closed eyes. The gas lamp on the wall is turned down low, a sleepy, amber glow. The shadows in the corners are deep and soft. The objects in the room are blurring. The brass telescope on the shelf glints. The glass dome covering a stuffed owl glimmers. The gold lettering on the book spine sparkles. Everything is rich. Everything is heavy. Texture upon texture. Velvet, wood, brass, leather, wool, fire. It creates a sensory blanket. It weighs you down, but it is a good weight, the weight of security. Listen to the silence of the house again. The fire is the loudest thing in the room. Hiss, crackle. The clock in the hall is a distant heartbeat. Tick, tock. Outside, the fog is pressing against the glass. You can imagine it. Millions of tiny water droplets suspended in the air, wrapping the house in cotton wool, hiding you. No one can find you here. The postman has gone. The callers have gone. The queen is in her palace. You are in your chair. Your eyelids feel incredibly heavy now. It is the heat. The coal fire creates a drowsy, soporific atmosphere. It sucks the oxygen out of the air and replaces it with sleepiness. Your head lolls to the side, resting against the wing of the chair. The book you were imagining reading slips from your hand. Thump. It lands softly on the rug. You don't pick it up. You don't want to move. You are trapped in amber, preserved in a moment of perfect peace. The shadows on the ceiling are dancing, shadows of the flames. Flicker, jump, flicker, die down. They are hypnotic, like a silent movie playing just for you. Watch them. A shadow stretches out, then shrinks, stretches, shrinks. Your breathing matches the rhythm. Inhale, shadow grows. Exhale, shadow shrinks. The boundaries of your body are dissolving. Where do you end and the leather chair begin? Where does the warmth end and your skin begin? It is all one thing. One warm, dark, heavy thing. You are part of the room. You are an antique. You are a fixture. Still, silent. Dust motes dance in the firelight around you. Tiny galaxies of dust, turning slowly. Everything is slow. Everything is Victorian. Solid. Built to last. Even your sleep will be solid. Built on a foundation of brick and coal. Let the fog thicken outside. Let it swallow the street lamps. Let it swallow the Thames. It doesn't matter. You are inside. The fire is glowing red. The embers are pulsing. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Like a dying star. A warm, friendly star. Drift deeper into the leather. Drift deeper into the century. The year 1888 is a good year to sleep. No phones to ring. No screens to glare. Just paper and fire and wood. The simple elements of comfort. Good night, traveler. Safe in the arms of the big smoke. Safe in the heart of the house. The clock strikes the half hour. Ding. Just once. Softly. Then silence returns. Thicker than before. Sleep. The gas lamps of the Victorian era flicker and die out. Fifth, the warm, cozy, cluttered world of the 19th century dissolves into the mist. The timeline accelerates. The wheel turns faster now. The heavy velvet curtains are pulled back. The windows are thrown open. We are entering the 20th century. The century of noise. The century of speed. But from our vantage point, high above the timeline, we do not hear the noise. We only feel the vibration. We drift over the city as it changes shape. We see the brick turning into concrete. We see the horses turning into cars. But then, the shadow falls. The 1940s. The sky turns dark. Not with fog, but with machines. We will not dwell on the fear. We are sleep travelers. Safe in our bubble of peace. We observe history without being hurt by it. We look down at London in the moonlight. The city is blacked out. No street lamps, no house lights. Pitch black. A city holding its breath. Hush. The silence of a held breath is the deepest silence of all. And then the fire comes again. The blitz. But look at the center of the flames. Look at Ludgate Hill, St. Paul's Cathedral. Remember the white dome we visited? It is surrounded by smoke. The buildings around it are falling. The books in Paternoster Square are burning, sending pages flying into the air like fiery birds. But the dome stands, solid, immovable. It floats above the smoke like a white moon. It refuses to fall. That image, the white dome amidst the gray smoke, is the anchor of London's soul. It tells you that no matter how dark the night gets, the dawn will come. No matter how much is broken, the core remains intact. You have a core like that too, deep inside you. Beneath the worries of your day, beneath the scars of your past, there is a white dome, a place that cannot be burned, a place that cannot be broken. Focus on that place now, that still, silent center. The smoke clears. The war ends. The scars remain. We drift over the post-war city, the 1950s, the 1960s. London is different now. It is wounded, but healing. The gaps where houses used to be are now filled with purple willowherb flowers. Nature is applying a bandage of green to the city's sores. New buildings rise. Brutalism, concrete, gray, rough, honest concrete. Many people dislike it. But look closer. Touch the wall of the National Theatre on the South Bank. It is rough, wood-grained concrete. It feels strong. It feels like a bunker, a shelter. There is a safety in this heavy, gray architecture. It says, "We have built this to last. We are not going anywhere. Let us drift away from the center now, towards the suburbs, the expanding sprawl of Metroland." It is a rainy Tuesday afternoon in 1965. We are floating down a quiet residential street in the suburbs. Identical semi-detached houses, row upon row, pebble-dash walls, mock Tudor beams, small front gardens with rose bushes and hydrangeas. It is so quiet. The men are at work. The children are at school. Only the housewives are home, and the cats enter one of these houses. It is different from the Victorian house. It is lighter, airier. The heavy velvet is gone, replaced by nylon and floral prints. The smell is different. It smells of floor polish, baking sponge cake, and rain on the window pane. Go into the living room. The television is off. The radio is playing quietly in the kitchen. The BBC Light program. A gentle murmur of voices and strings. Sit on the sofa. It is soft, squashy beige fabric. Look out the French windows into the back garden. It is raining gently. The garden is green and lush. A neatly mowed lawn. A dripping apple tree. A wooden fence. A blackbird lands on the fence. Hop. It tilts its head. It sings a few notes. Tweedle. D. Clear. Liquid. Perfect. Then it flies away. This domestic peace is powerful. It is the peace of the ordinary, the peace of the mundane. Nothing exciting is happening here, and that is a blessing. Boredom is just another word for safety. Embrace the boredom. Let the gray afternoon wash over you. The ticking of the clock on the mantelpiece is plastic and light. Tick-tock, tick-tock, faster than the grandfather clock, but just as hypnotic. Now, let us return to the river, the Thames, our old friend. During the industrial years, the river was sick. It was dead, choked with pollution. But look, we are moving into the late 20th century, the 1980s, the 1990s. The factories are closing. The docks are quiet. The river is breathing again. The water is clearing. Life is returning. Imagine standing on the Millennium Bridge, a blade of steel and light crossing the water. Look down. The water is gray-brown. Yes, it is a tidal river. It carries the silt of the land, but it is alive. Seals are swimming in the estuary. Seahorses are clinging to the reeds. Fish are flashing in the depths. The river has healed itself, just like you heal yourself every night when you sleep. Sleep is the river that cleanses your mind. It washes away the toxins of the day. It restores the life in your neural waters. Stand on the bridge in the wind. Feel the modern city rising around you. The Shard, the Gherkin, the walkie-talkie, glass towers. They are not heavy like stone. They are light. They are transparent. They reflect the sky. When the sun sets, they turn into pillars of fire. When the clouds pass, they turn into pillars of mist. They are ephemeral. They remind us that everything changes. The stone tower stands firm. The glass tower reflects. Both are beautiful. The sun is setting on the 20th century. The lights of the city are turning on. Millions of them. Not gas lamps anymore. Electric lights, LEDs, neon. A galaxy of artificial stars on the ground. Red taillights of cars flowing like blood cells in an artery. White headlights flowing the other way. Flow, flow. It is a circulation system. The city is a living body, and it is tired. It has survived a long, hard century. It deserves to rest, and so do you. You have survived your day. You have survived your past. You are still here, standing on the bridge, watching the water. Your core is intact. Your white dome is safe. The river is flowing. Everything is as it should be. Drift with the current now. Leave the concrete scars behind. They are just history. They cannot hurt you. You are water. You are flow. Drift towards the sea, towards the end of the story, towards the deep sleep. And so, we arrive at the now, the present moment, the only moment that truly exists. We are floating high above London, higher than the Shard, higher than the clouds. The city is spread out below us like a glittering map of jewels on black velvet. The orange glow of the streetlights traces the ancient veins of the roads, the same roads the Romans built, the same paths the Saxons walked. The dark ribbon of the Thames snakes through the middle, a void of silence in the sea of light. From this height, you cannot hear the cars. You cannot hear the sirens. You cannot hear the shouting. There is only the wind. Whoosh. A high, thin, stratospheric wind. It sounds like the ocean. It sounds like the universe breathing. Look at the city one last time. See the layers we have traveled through. See the phantom forests of the prehistoric lions, shimmering faintly in the parks. See the ghostly walls of the Roman fort overlaying the city. See the smoke of the medieval fires blending with the steam from the modern vents. See the white dome of street palls glowing softly in the floodlights. It is all there, all at once. The past is not gone. It is just underneath. London is a sleeping giant, dreaming of its own history. And you are part of that dream. You are no longer a visitor. You are the sky. You are the wind. You are the silence between the lights. Your body is lying in your bed, warm and heavy, but your consciousness is vast. It expands to fill the horizon. There are no boundaries anymore. No inside and outside. No me and them. No past and future. There is only this. Here, now. Sleep. Feel the gravity pulling you down. Not just the gravity of the earth, but the gravity of sleep. It pulls gently at your eyelids. Heavy. It pulls at your jaw. Loose. It pulls at your shoulders. Down. It pulls at your hands. Open. It pulls at your legs. Sinking. Imagine you are a leaf falling from the highest cloud, drifting down, slowly, rocking back and forth in the air. Left, right, left, right. Falling past the moon, falling past the stars, falling past the glass towers, falling past the stone spires, falling towards the river. The river is waiting for you, not the cold, wet river of the waking world, but the river of dreams. The water is warm. It is made of dark, liquid velvet. You touch the surface. You do not splash. You simply dissolve. You melt into the water. You become the current. You are flowing now, effortlessly. The river carries you. You don't have to swim. You don't have to steer. You just have to trust. Trust the river. It knows where it is going. It is going to the sea, the great, wide, infinite sea of sleep. You drift past the old docks. You drift past the flood barriers. The city lights are fading behind you. They are just a faint glow on the horizon now. The noise is gone. The memories are gone. There is only the rhythm of the water. Lul, 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 and the rhythm of your heart. Dub, dub, dub. They beat together. One rhythm, one song. The river widens. The banks disappear. The sky meets the water. Infinite dark above. Infinite deep below. You are entering the ocean. The delta of sleep. The salt water supports you completely. You are more buoyant than cork. You are floating in the nothingness. The great void. It is not empty. It is full of potential. It is the place where life recharges. It is the womb of the soul. Feel the silence wrapping around you like a heavy quilt, layer upon layer of silence. First layer, the silence of the room. Second layer, the silence of the house. Third layer, the silence of the street. Fourth layer, the silence of the city. Fifth layer, the silence of the ocean. Sixth layer, the silence of your mind. Your thoughts are just tiny fish swimming far below you. Let them swim away. Let them go deep. You stay on the surface, floating, drifting, existing. There is nothing left to do. There is nothing left to see. There is nothing left to be. Just this softness, just this darkness, just this peace. The journey is over. London sleeps. The lions sleep. The river sleeps. The stones sleep. And now, finally, you sleep. Good night.